Okay, so far we've learned about inheritance. We've learned that uh, we can have a superclass and subclasses, and all the subclasses inherit everything from the superclass. So here, public class extends pet. This makes this makes cat a subclass of pet, and it inherits everything a pet can do. And let's just take a look. Pet has a couple instance variables. Those get inherited to cat. So the cat has name and sound. Also, there's several methods: get name, speak, and a toString. All of these methods get inherited down to the cat class, even though they're not in here. Now, inheritance is a one-way street. Things get inherited down the chain here. Things don't go up. It's not a two-way street. So, like, there's a variable here, dclod, that's a cat. That variable does not move back up the chain. That's important to know. Things only come down the inheritance tree there. We also learned about polymorphism, and that's where there's many different types. Right here I have 4 different types of pets. And if we look at the driver, we can see that I can place all of these different types of pets into one array list. The array list is type pet. Now I want to show you something here. I could make a pet object, pet p1 equals new pet. It takes in 2 things here, right? So its name, I don't even know what to call a pet, so I'm just going to call it name, and it makes some sort of sound. Now, I made this pet object on purpose because it doesn't really make sense to make a pet object. If you were to go to the pet store and tell the guy behind the counter, hey, I want to buy a pet, he would ask you, well, what type of pet do you want? Do you want a cat, a dog, a fish? Do you want a loud dog? What do you want? If you said, well, no, I just want to get a pet, well, he would look at you like you're crazy, because there isn't something as generic in the pet store as just a pet. They're more specific. Which leads me to this. We wouldn't want anyone to ever make a pet object. Like I was just saying, it doesn't make sense. So we can kind of lock this class so it can never be created. Right now, if I click compile, it works fine. It lets me create a pet. But by adding one word to the pet class, I can make it so the object is not created. I'm going to go to my pet class here, go up to the header, and we're going to make an abstract class. We're going to make pet abstract. All you have to do is between public and class, type the word abstract. And if I click compile, it now says abstract class right there. Basically, that means this object can no longer be created. We cannot create a pet object. I can create all these subclasses, but I cannot create a pet object. And now watch, if I go back to my driver and try to compile this, I'm going to get an error on this line right here. I click compile, and it says, hey, pet is abstract, cannot be instantiated. That means it can't make an instance of the pet class. So I'm just going to comment that out. And well, that's abstract classes, and that's great because we wouldn't want anybody to ever make a pet, but we do want to do all of these things. I just wanted to show you one more time that, let's say in my dog class, I could write special methods for my dog that don't happen in these other classes. So let's say I've got a special dog that can perform tricks. And each dog might be different, but just my generic dog here, if I run the perform tricks, it's going to say fetching stick. And I can compile that. This perform tricks method will get inherited to loud dog, so the loud dog could perform tricks as well. And I do want to show you that in the driver. So I have my dog D1 here, and if I say D1 dot perform trick, it can perform a trick. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Perform tricks with an S. If I compile that and run my method, it says that my dog is fetching a stick. Now this is just unique to my dog class, so the cat can't fetch and the fish can't fetch. But because my loud dog is a dog, it would inherit that method there. And just finally, I wanted to talk about overriding methods one more time. So I'm going to go to my loud dog, and I want to override this method, perform tricks. So I type the same header, perform tricks as public void perform tricks. And then I want it to do something different or add to what's happening. So first I want to go super dot perform tricks. So it's going to run this fetching sticks, but I want it to do something else. This is my loud dog. He's special. So my loud dog is also going to jump through fire. If I compile that, and then if I change my constructor here, I want my loud dog here to perform a trick. Now, my loud dog only exists in the array list called myPets. So if I do this, myPets.get, and I want to get the fourth item, which is index 3. So this is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. If I get the item at index 3 is a pet. In this case, it's a loud dog. So I should be able to perform tricks. But it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Well, let me tell you. What is in the array list? Well, there's pets. Does the pet have the method perform tricks? I look through here. Nope, it doesn't have it. Well, only the dog has performed tricks, and I told you before that the methods don't get inherited up the chain, only down the chain. So, well, then how do I get this out and make it run this perform tricks method? Well, here is the key right here. And we've done it in the past with integers and doubles, and it's called casting. So I'm going to have to separate this into a couple of different steps. I'm going to make a loud dog object and call it LD1, and I'm going to set it equal to myPets.get3. Well, that just gets a pet. That doesn't get a loud dog, and as a matter of fact, this won't compile correctly. It says incompatible types because things only go inherit down the tree. They don't go back up the tree. So I can't set a loud dog equal to a pet. It's only I can set a pet equal to a loud dog. That's fine because a loud dog is a pet or dog is a pet, but I can't go the other way around. So I'm going to use casting right here, and we did the same way I'm going to cast this into a loud dog. Now if I were to compile it, it compiles without errors, and I can tell my loud dog 1 now to perform tricks. If I compile now, oh, I'm spelling perform wrong. So now I can perform tricks, and if I were to run this, you can see somewhere it's going to say fetching stick and jumping through fire. And that's it. That's the end of your chapter 7 notes.